Okay, I'd like to call the Monday, May 2nd, regular scheduled meeting of the Munster Town Council to order. Roll call, please.
Councillor Schoen.
Present.
Councillor Mellon.
Present.
Councillor Tulowitzki is excused. Councillor Kulturitis.
Present.
And Councillor Gardner.
Present.
So we have 4 and present today.
We can all rise for a moment of silence and then the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
After the pledge of allegiance, I'd just like to remind everybody that tomorrow is primary voting day, so make sure you vote tomorrow. And then we go into public comment. We kindly ask that an in-person public comment is limited to 2 minutes maximum per person, or 5 minutes for a group spokesman, and that you keep your comments civil and constructive to public policy issues. Public comments may also be submitted electronically to our town manager, Dustin Anderson, at danderson@munster.org. Is there anybody here that would like to speak for public comment? Seeing no one, is there anybody online? Okay, we will close the public comment section. We will move on to the consent agenda.
I move we accept the consent agenda as given.
There is a motion and a second. Is there any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Councillor Schoen.
Yes.
Councillor Mellon.
Yes.
Councillor Tulowitzki
Yes,
is present virtually.
virtually. Could you hear me? Yes?
Is open and
Yes.
are you there, Steve? We're voting on the consent agenda.
Yes. Can you hear me?
We can, thank you.
Okay, excellent.
Councillor Gardner.
Yes.
So that's a vote of 5-0.
Okay.
Okay, then there is no old business. New business, item number A, the first one on the agenda under new business, is the Baker Tilly landfill assurance test memo.
This is an annual, rite of passage, if you will. The Indiana Department of Environmental Management requires documentation to assure them that the town, wherewithal to, at the landfill. Baker Tilly goes back and pulls all the information for us. They've done this for many years, and they're looking to do the financial analysis for $6,700. And that it comes from the Solid Waste Management Fund. I don't know.
There is a recommended action by staff. Wishes of the council.
I move we adopt a letter of engagement with Baker Tilly for the annual landfill assessment test, the amount of $6,700.
There's a motion and a second. Any comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Councillor Schoen.
Yes.
Councillor Mellon.
Yes.
Councillor Tulowitzki.
Yes.
Councillor Kulturitis.
Yes.
And Councillor Gardner.
Yes. Then we move on to the comprehensive plan award, Housel Levine Associates LLC. Mr. Anderson, would you like to give us further information from the memo?
Beyond the information in the memo, Tom wrote a very good description of the process that we went through. It was very exhaustive. We received numerous viable proposals. Those were ranked by department heads. And then we interviewed the top 3 with Councillor Gardner participating. That was consensus that Housel Levine would be the recommended firm for you to consider. We're looking at a 14-month project length. We have included an updated flowchart in the attachments after the memo that are posted online for your reference. And we had budgeted originally $200,000 for this project. That is a conservative estimate. And we have negotiated a cost of $171,045. This will be our guiding document for strategic choices and development. It's not a binding document, but it will set the stage for a framework of how we approach decisions in the future for the next 10 years.
Very good, thank you. There's a recommendation in front of the council.
I move we authorize the town manager to enter into a service agreement with Oswald Levine Associates in the amount not to exceed $171,000.
In a second. Questions or comments?
This is Steve. Oh, go ahead.
Are you online? Do you have a comment, Steve?
Okay. I guess first of all, very comprehensive proposal. I'm excited for this work. I like how it has so much public outreach, etc. I think it's the right partner and the right document. I noticed a few things. It looks like since the original proposal that was included to the agreement letter, it seems like we may have expanded scope a little bit. I think there's 4 sites instead of 2 that was recommended. It seems like we've gone up to 25 interviews from 10, and that the original scope was around 149, and it's risen a little bit. Have I captured the reason for the increase in price, some additional scope?
Mm-hmm. Yes, predominantly the significantly increased public engagement component. That is an element that we have found to be extremely worthwhile when we create these kinds of either sub-area plans or visions. For example, the streetscape, the form-based code, all those had a very robust public engagement component, and that's something that we would like to recreate and maybe even expand on. So because it is a community-wide document.
Okay, wonderful. And I notice we're still at 171 under our original estimate and allotted funds for this. There was one other item I had a question on in item 6G in the scope of services is the interactive web-based plan, which is listed as optional. Are you aware, is that included in this price, or is that going to be an option down the road after the plan itself is created?
The way that I remember this being presented in the interview, and I'm not going to put anyone on the spot because Tom's away and Mr. Gardner is presiding over the meeting. So as I recall, the way that Halsey Levine can approach this work is it can be iterative, right? As we get into it, maybe there is a way that we can de-emphasize maybe the sub-area plans and say, well, what we really want to do is go in an interactive web-based component, or we can add that as an add alternative and build that out as a potential scope item. So I think it is the intention of the document to try to live within the budget. And if that's an element that they think that they can, after diving into the work, that they can keep within budget, that's an element that they'll do if we authorize them to. And if it turns out that this is going to be a heavier lift than they anticipated, then it's there if we would like to add it as an alternative change order.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you very much.
I just wanted a clarification for the people in the back of the room. Can you hear when our town manager, Dustin Anderson, talks? You guys can hear? Okay, very good. I just want to make sure that the speakers were working. I'm sure she's not. Is there the other microphone you use that? Because the other microphone is into the speaker, so we want to have it.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Very good. Any other comments or questions from the council?
As far as, just want to know what part, or want to make sure that we all have input in the panels that are formed, and just so that we're fully engaged in the process as a council.
And I think, again, I have talked with town manager Dustin Anderson regarding that. You want to talk a little bit about the formation of the advisory council, or?
Similar to how we approached the streetscape, there was a group of individuals, business owners, members of the community with a vested interest in the vitality of Ridge Road and the safety of Ridge Road, the school town of Munster, major employers like Strachan Van Til, some of the staff with specific technical expertise, residents in town, a council member or two as well. So kind of like a rich stew of points of view and perspectives that and expertise that made the project more successful. And we thought that that would be a good idea to include in this as well. They're not going to be driving the project, they're going to be advising, but it is important, and it's our intention to produce a list for you to react to. And if there's names on it that you would have expected to see, we can put them on. If there's names that you object to, we can take them off. So I've already laid the groundwork with Community Hospital and the school town of Munster and a few other key stakeholders in the broader community, and they've all been receptive to the idea of participating or having a delegate participate on that advisory committee.
So you haven't.
I thought it would be presumptuous to appoint before award. Yep. So no one.
Well, if you have a preliminary list that you're gonna share it with us?
I would share it with you. I don't have a list of people right now.
And again, I think the most important part of this, it is an exciting plan to put together. It is only as good as the input that we receive. So again, this is something that one of the reasons why we increased the number of stakeholder interviews is to get more public input, and public can start inputting as of right now. So if you have any comments, questions, please let the council know, and there'll be some more formal activities later on in this process. Anything else that we have to discuss? Okay, there is a motion, a second, to accept, approve the document for Housel Levine that's in front of us.
Mr. President?
Yes.
Just building on that comment, discussion we were just having, I've had a resident reach out to me in the past couple of days, express interest to be involved in the CPAC as it's labeled in there. So I can share that information with you and town manager.
Sure. Thank you, Steve. Councilor Tulowitzki, Councilor Mellon?
Did we include, did Mr. Whitland, was he involved, or Mr. Westland with the agreement?
Mr. Westland reviewed the contract, yes.
Very good. Okay. Seeing that, any other questions? Okay, then roll call, please.
Councilor Schoen,
Yes.
Councilor Mellon,
Yes.
Councilor Tulowitzki,
Yes.
Councilor Kulturitis.
Yes.
And Councilor Gardner.
Yes. Then we move on to the Advanced Engineering Service, AES Incorporated, proposal for geotechnical engineering services. Mr. Anderson, anything to add from your memo?
Nope, just a little bit more small bore, but just as impactful to the residents who live along these corridors. What we're looking for is a motion to authorize the town to engage AES for these services for a price not to exceed $4,950.
Very good. Your recommendation from the board or the council? Very good. There's a motion and a second.
I'll second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Councilor Schoen,
Yes.
Councilor Mellon,
Yes.
Councilor Tulowitzki,
Yes.
Councilor Kulturitis.
Yes.
And Councilor Gardner.
Yes. Okay, then we move on to item D, emergency replacement of Beverly Place sanitary sewer. This is an important issue that came up in an emergency situation. Mr. Justin Anderson would like to explain.
Yes, so as residents of the northwest corner of town are well aware, NIPSCO has been doing a ton of work placing new poles along Broadmoor, Beverly, and various alleys. And in the process of hydro excavating for the placement of one of their new poles in the Beverly median, they found a collapsed sewer that serves a number of homes along Beverly. They alerted us immediately. We went out and televised it. We put the camera into the pipe and found that there's about 800 feet of pipe that is old vitrified clay, and it is cracked almost the entire length. So this is a very significant issue. Potentially, nothing bad has happened yet, and we are moving with all haste. We solicited proposals. We had 2 proposals reply to us. One was from Gatlin Plumbing, one is from Calumet City Plumbing. And Gatlin Plumbing was the lowest, most responsive bidder at $115,000. Normally, this is a kind of project that we would bring before you, let you consider, ask questions, and ultimately wait until you say yes. This was an emergency. There's collapsed pipe that holds sanitary sewer. So we felt it was necessary to move immediately. I did alert the council in a weekly memo. I did talks directly with Councilman Gardner on this. So to make it right, all contracts must be approved by council. So we're asking you in a very rare occasion to approve this retroactively. Ratify this contract.
We award the Beverly Sanitary Sewer Project, Gatlin Plumbing, and being incorporated at 1111 East Main Street, First Indiana, 46319, to be responsible and responsible quote in the amount of $115,000.
This meeting.
Thank you. There's a motion, a second.
Computer attached.
Any comments, questions from the council?
None for me.
And again, this work, part of the, after it's ordered, there's equipment and materials that are being ordered right now. So they're actually
Yes.
not doing the work right now, but just materials are being ordered.
We just got a jump start on that. Yeah,
Exactly,
it's going to be a couple weeks.
And the scheduling of the crews is very busy.
exactly. So that's why they need to approve the contract. Any other comments? Okay, very good. Seeing no other comments from the council, roll call, please.
Counselor Schoen,
Yes.
Counselor Mellon,
Yes.
Counselor Tulowitzki,
Yes.
Counselor Kulturitis,
Yes.
and Counselor Gardner.
Yes. Very good. Item E on the agenda, the Pulse Technology Print Management Program. Is there anything to add from Chief Shekel, from your memo, Chief?
No, other than I neglected to put in a memo that price also includes all the printers will be brand new if you approve the contract.
The printers in those 3 departments, the police department, the fire department, and data processing.
That's correct.
Memo in front of us. For us to enter into the contract for those Pulse Technology Printer Management Program.
We're just.
What exactly are we looking at?
There's no number on here what he wants to do. Just approve the printers.
Chief, are you looking for us to approve?
To enter into the contract at a monthly rate that is stated on the memo.
Oh, okay. So move. Great.
There's a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Leanne seconded. Okay, any comments?
Hey, Chief, why is there a difference between 2 of them at 36 months and the other ones at 60 months?
The only thing we could figure out is that's a larger plotter map that Charlie uses to outline all our lines and utilities on a map that are geolocated.
Okay.
So that plotter map for some reason had to be 60.
It's a significantly larger pieces of equipment. So many of the homemade publication banners that you see that Parks and Recreation produce for their events, both to promote their events and to, have at their events, are all produced on this plotter printer. So it's a different kind of thing.
Okay. All right.
Used by the building department as well.
Yes.
So it's building, data processing parts, it's a multi.
Public works.
And currently, we do not have any kind of service program like this. It's all done.
And what we were running into We have 2 printers down now. Ad hoc, wherever you can find them. And, you know, the ink, the printer's ink goes in the machine, and you have to basically throw them away and buy a new one. This way, if they can't fix it under the service contract, they replace it.
Okay, there's a motion, a second. Any other comments? Roll call, please.
Counselor Schoen.
Yes.
Counselor Mellon.
Yes.
Counselor Tulowitzki.
Yes.
Counselor Kulturitis.
Yes.
Counselor Gardner.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Okay, and we move on to item F, which is the Munster Police Department 2018 bond proceeds. I believe this is more just of a clarification. It doesn't really need approval, it's just a clarification. Chief, you want to explain?
Currently, our bikes that we have for bike patrol in the summer times, which goes to parks and residential neighborhoods, those bikes are approximately 15 years old. Trek, which was the manufacturer, said that they're on their last leg. In looking to replace them, we found these battery bikes, trail bikes, which you can either pedal, or if the officer needs to get somewhere more quickly, the battery, they can activate the throttle and the battery will kick in. And I think they get up to 30 miles an hour.
You please can't just pedal faster?
If you're,
That's
if you're in a
unfair.
hurry,
That's
do you want
unfair.
me, do you want me pedaling a bike?
No, very good. Understand. I'm sorry. That's an unfair comment.
That's all right.
So we appreciate them putting it in a memo form, presenting it to council so that you know what those bond proceeds are being used for.
Yeah, and that was a cost savings on other equipment that we anticipated the price on the original quotes and actually got it cheap. So there's residual money sitting.
Is there any formal action the council has to take on this memo?
Not at all.
Very good. And we will move on to item G, appointments to boards and commission. Recently, we received word that one of our longtime standing members of the Plan Commission, Stuart Freeman, has moved or will be moving to another location, will not be a resident of Munster anymore. Therefore, that leaves an opening on the Board of Planning Commission. Plan Commission has 4 resident members. That commission needs to be politically balanced. There's 2 Republicans and 2 Democrats on that commission, along with the 3 appointments from the town council. Stuart Freeman was a Democrat, so we need to replace Stuart with a light party Democrat also. Most recently, the nominating committee had nominated and interviewed people for the Board of Safety, Board of Zoning Appeals, and also for the Park Board. And one of the members that did not get appointed to the board, Rachel Brannigan, is listed as a Democrat, and she has expressed interest in being on the Planning Commission. So I believe, instead of calling the nominating committee together for this appointment, I feel it's appropriate that we consider a nomination for Rachel Brannigan to the Planning Commission. So I would ask the council if there's any nomination for that effect.
I'll second.
There's a motion
Mine
second.
goes to the runner. No.
Any comments with regard to this nomination? Roll call, please.
Counselor Schoen.
Yes.
Counselor Mellon.
Yes.
Counselor Tulowitzki.
Yes.
Counselor Kulturitis.
Yes.
And Counselor Gardner.
Yes. As part of the Plan Commission, Stuart Freeman was the council's representative to the Board of Zoning Appeals. So therefore, now the council before us needs to recommend or nominate somebody that's currently on the Plan Commission to be a member of the BZA. The BZA is not politically balanced, so that can be any member of the Planning Commission other than Roland Raffin, who has already been appointed by the Plan Commission to be the representative on the BZA.
I move to nominate Brian Speck. Based on the,
I'll second.
There's a motion, a second. Is there any comments or questions? Seeing none, we will, roll call, please.
Counselor Schoen,
Yes.
Counselor Mellon,
Yes.
Counselor Tulowitzki,
Yes.
Counselor Kulturitis.
Yes.
And Counselor Gardner.
Yes. Therefore, we move on to item number 4, reports. Are there any reports? Any Foley reports?
Only to say that the Lake County Solid Waste Management Board has new quarters in Merrillville. And so we won't need to drive to Crown Point for meetings anymore. It's still Merrillville. And it's a beautiful building and it's right on Broadway and very accessible and has rooms large enough for the kids' field trips that the board was very welcoming for.
Very good. Any other reports or announcements? I guess we'll move into announcements. Any announcements? Seeing none, there are the next, on the third Monday of May is May 16th is the regular scheduled Town Council and Redevelopment Commission meetings. Those meetings will also be on the first and third Mondays of the month of June. And that there's one, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. And for those students that would like to take pictures, we have another meeting that's coming up, a redevelopment commission meeting that probably will not take very long. So we will go right into the redevelopment commission meeting and then we will come, oh, don't worry, it's only gonna take a couple minutes here. We will go into the redevelopment commission meeting now. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Schoen,
Present.
Commissioner Mellon,
Yes.
Commissioner Tulowitzki.
Present virtually?
Oh, thank you. Commissioner Kulturitis.
Present.
And Commissioner Gardner.
Present. Okay.
Want to acknowledge the school board liaison, John Castro, is not present this evening.
And is there any public comment for the redevelopment commission? Seeing no comment for the from the public for the redevelopment commission, we will close that item. Consent agenda.
I move we accept the consent agenda.
I'll second that.
Okay, that's a motion and a second. All roll call, please.
Commissioner Schoen.
Yes.
Commissioner Mellon,
Yes.
Commissioner Tulowitzki,
Yes.
Commissioner Kulturitis.
Yes.
Commissioner Gardner.
Yes. And then seeing that there is no old business, nor is there any new business, there's no reports, no announcements, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Now, students, if you want to come forward and we can get our pictures taken and all that kind of good stuff, and you can prove that you were here. Thank you very much.
There you go.
Picture?
Easy.
So you set up the Zoom meeting with your account.
I'm gonna have me and you on the wall. Great.
Is there, I don't have a lot of experience with Zoom, so you can, like the one time that I did come virtually, there's like a waiting room, but is it always set up that way where you have to invite people, or you have to like let people in?
Yeah, because sometimes what we'll have is like Mike Hawkins or a council member come in early and I just let them in early so they can ask questions and stuff. But not the public.
Okay, so because you can see yours.
Yeah.
Hi, can I get a picture?
Sure, sure.
Stand right in front. We'll stand behind you.
That works out. That does the trick.
Yes, you have a picture.
He was?
Yes, you not, oh my God.
You folks want to come in?
Thank you.
No.
Hi there, how are you?
The kids.
Are you graduating?
Yeah.
Sure. Well, we'll try to do this over like this.
So,
Yeah, sorry, thank you.
all
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you. We get Chuck. Oh, there we go. Dr. Andy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There you go. Okay, we got it.
Thank you.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Ben still will, I pick him up Thursday. So, yeah. So is he?
The second
He's taking,
meeting
they're taking him now.
Yeah, well, it's a redevelopment committee.
Fine,
And
yeah, he's good.
Really, there's
He's
nothing
got a
that that group really does unless there's
Yeah,
some
he said
kind
he
of
has to
bigger
get like
development
a
that's
60% of his
happening.
finals or something. He's- I know.
And it's the same numbers.
Yeah, so his, yeah. and
So it's just a
math
separate,
and
it's a
multivariable
separate path.
calculus and- I know, he
Municipal
loves that stuff.
corporate meeting. It's
He's
just
great.
more or less for development,
So
but
he's
there's
gonna
no
help,
development going on.
He's gonna tutor, yeah, Lisa.
Right, yeah, and it's just,
Yeah, Katie
there's
reached
some
out
bills
to
that
me
get
for
paid.
algebra.
I think some of that, there's a couple
Oh,
basic
you could have done it
ongoing
when you.
bills that we have to have the meeting just to approve the bills.
Well, maybe
So if
she
you
just
go
thought
online to
it's
Munster.org, you'll see the development, you'll see the bills that were paid.
siblings, you know.
And some of your salary,
Anyway, he
like
wants to try.
5% of somebody's salary might be taken out right
So-
now. So that's why we have to meet,
Yeah.
just to
What are
approve
you
the
gonna
bills
say?
being paid. And probably the bills
You
on
are
this
gonna
month is
prevent-
probably
Oh my
$3,000 or
gosh.
$4,000.
That's,
That's why that's.
Oh, okay.
So that's why, and that's why we do the same night as the other one,
Oh,
just
don't worry.
because there's really,
Yeah.
there's very rarely.
Is rad, and he said it's insane, like all the stuff that he's doing.
Thank you, I just thought I'd ask a clarification.
No, that's
Yeah.
great, that's a good
Prepare, like
question
all
though.
of the, like all the.
We wish
things
they
he
all
needs
could
to
go
do
that way.
Freshman year, to try to get in, yeah, so. Hi, how are you? Good things. Yeah, so. Are you graduating? Yes. You are. Pre-med or? Oh, okay. And I'm gonna continue swimming there too, so. Oh, you are? Nice. You both will be swimming.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Colleges are like, maybe 40 minutes of martial, that's not too bad.
No, you guys will still be, that's gonna be hard. To be
Mr.
pre-med
Pastor, how you doing?
for you guys to swim. That's not gonna be, but you guys can do it.
But it's gonna keep us focused, like, you know, be able to like multitask on serving at school, it's gonna really help us, like, you know. not just-
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. You guys will be, you guys are, you'll be able to do it. So, good to see you too. Okay, have a good night. Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Say hi.
I just
to,
learned that you were on the board, but I was like, hey, when you get there, say hi to them.
All right, yeah, tell him I said hello and thanks for the jersey. We got the jersey and did you go to the game?
I don't know what you're referring to.
The White Sox game, because he got a free, the free
Oh, no,
White
no, I
Sox.
think that's it.
Oh, okay, all right. They got, he put it in our mailbox, so, yeah, tell him my Katie said hello.
Oh, we will. Thank you. Bye-bye.
But still, it's not a date.
You know, say hi to Mr. Watson.
How you doing, Mr. Reed? How are you? Good, good. How you, everything all right? Yeah, things going good for you? Yeah. Good, good. Swimming going well? Yeah. Yeah. Nothing else to do. Good for you. Like everything. Yeah, and then where are you going? Are you golf, golf? You guys swim there?
Yeah, what's up?
Yes. How your dad? Well, that's you too.
The pictures?
I could find out. if you-
Oh, no, I was just curious, because I remember I came here for a field trip like in elementary school, but I don't remember.
You know who will know? Ken Schoon.
This is Dr. Schoon.
Munster history question.
Yes.
I was already.
This picture of the school. Do you have an rough estimate of when it was taken?
When that picture was taken, very rough, very rough, 1890.
Wow.
I don't know if you know Ray Anderson. He had a car dealership on Calumet Avenue a long time ago. One of those children is his mother. Yeah, so he would know real well. He could look, so that kid was to be about 8 years old.
And that's why we're making sure that it's okay.
Sorry? So anyway, every time I come in here and I sit up there, I remember, oh, I was gonna do something about it. Wendy sent me the information. These are like, these are easy handouts. But the handouts.
We thought though, they should.
Compared to disbanding park boards and, you know, may have a clerk treasurer screaming at me.
Not
And
having
each
minutes.
is a different
How does that, how do you not do minutes?
Could be a headache.
They didn't do them for a year, Wendy, and then the guy sues us and they hand me the lawsuit and they go, Dave, what can we do? And I'm like, nothing, do the minutes.
To the flipping minutes.
Right,
Um,
that's the house right on.
What else is interesting is that, why isn't her name never, like, why is it not, I would think. if the treasurer- I would-
Justin, I think it's still on.
Yes, I'm sorry.
You're still recording.
Whoops.
I think the other meeting has a different Zoom link. Is that correct?
It does, and I'm going to go